Good morning, stylist from the back room. What is going on? John, good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Eddie, my buddy, how are you?
Doing good, man. Living the dream, having fun.
So we got to start it out like we do every week now. Eddie, how's your week been, bud?
I am a circus juggler. I'm a circus juggler. You ever have it in the salon where it's just like you're like, oh, I'm actually running on schedule, and then all of a sudden somebody walks in and you're like, you're not on my book. Why are you here? And like, oh yeah, no, I had it in my book. And it turns up to be they got the wrong date. Like they're here at the right time, but on the wrong day.
Yep. Yeah.
You turn them away or you tell them, come on, sit down.
Come on, sit down. We'll make this happen for you, right?
So I'm a juggler. I am a circus juggler.
I get that. I get that. Actually, yesterday morning, I was knee deep in the weeds with a corrective. And all of a sudden, the client showed up and she's like, hi. And I'm like, hey, how are you? And she's like, I'm here for my appointment. And I'm like, huh? And then I looked it up and she was actually a week early. And I said, but you know what? She was a single process. And we sat her down, we did her consultation, and we made it happen. That's what we do. That's part of the game.
That's stylist life right there.
You know, it really is. So I've got all kinds of news for you today. Are you ready? Okay. Are you ready, or is there anything else you want to get into here with us?
No, now I'm ready.
You're ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So we're going to start off. We are at ABS. If you haven't been watching us and this is your first time with us, we've been covering this every week. We are at ABS. We are booth 1506. We also have a classroom, which is what number, Eddie?
52. Classroom 52.
Classroom 52. We will be doing stage presentations at the booth, 30-minute presentations, some techniques. We've got a bunch of really, really talented people that are going to be in the classroom and also at the booth helping us out. So stop by, see us, come into the classes. Really great stuff going on with HTB Beauty. We're really excited for that. So let's get into, we've been covering hair trends lately, but we've kind of missed something, Eddie, and that is haircuts for men. I know a lot of people are like, yeah. I know a lot of people don't really, I have some people that I work with that don't really do men's haircuts. They're like, no, I don't do that. I personally think that if you're omitting men's haircuts, you're kind of omitting leaving money on the table for, I hate that term. God, I hate that term. I'm going to take that term back. And if you don't do men's haircut, I challenge you to refresh your skills and open up another revenue stream for yourself. How's that?
The benefit of, you have a choice. You're either going to specialize or you're going to, you're either going to specialize or you're going to do a little bit of everything, right?
Right.
And when it comes down to that choice, when you decide to do a little bit of everything, that's fine. Men's haircut is a very lucrative business.
It is. It is.
You can set your watch to a guy's schedule when they come in for their haircuts.
Right. So for 2024, the two men's hair trends that are going to be super hot is the natural fade. Now, the natural fade is not the fade that we've been seeing normally. It's a little bit of a different look, which really starts the fade lower down on the head, and it's supposed to look slightly grown out, which will give the haircut more of a natural vibe. And the best part is it complements most face shapes and hair textures. So more of a natural fade would look good on you, and even with my big round bowling ball head, where it's a little more grown out looking. The fade starts a lot lower. That's what you're going to be seeing more of. Hopefully, we're going to be doing away with the head of broccoli haircut that I see all these young guys with. Come on, it does. They look like a head of broccoli. It's all yeet, and then,
hey man,
but
if it's maintained properly and if it's styled nicely,
right,
and then that's the look, Mr. Mullet. You have to defend
not be
the majesty.
mullets. Do not be throwing shade on mullets. In the 80s, when I had hair, oh.
So leave the broccolis alone.
Dude, I had the Billy Ray Cyrus mullet, man. Oh, it was so awful. Awful. So the next haircut, they're calling it Spike Central. And it's really for your thick-haired clients. And what it is it's not the messy spikes, it's neat spikes. Think of it like a modified faux hawk over a really dialed up fade, where it's really goes from more of a bald to a gradation all the way up to those spikes. And what they're doing is, instead of the high gloss holding products that they've been using for like the messy spikes and stuff, everything that they're having the men use is more matte. It's more of a matte texture. But it only works. They really only recommend it for your really thick-haired clients. Back in the day, I used to have a couple of guys that came in that had hair. To this, I'm jealous now still. And actually, to get that spiky look, we used to actually comb a little perm solution through their hair to relax and kind of get that hair to be a little more pliable. So that's what you're going to be seeing for men's haircuts. For those of you that do men's haircuts, you're going to be getting pictures of that. So be on the lookout for that. Do you remember back when you had a hairline, Eddie?
Yeah, kind of. Because I do actually, because I had a mohawk.
Yeah.
So I had a mohawk. I had Liberty spikes at one point too. So it's oh yeah.
Trying to get in and out of your car without trashing the headliner.
Forget it.
Okay, so now let's switch gears a little bit in the news, and we're going to talk about hair color for women over 50 that we're going to be seeing this spring. Okay. These are the true trends that they've been showing. Okay. This is for women over 50, which I have a few clients that are over 50, and they're always like, what does a woman my age wear? And it's you end up, you don't want to insult your client or anything. So these are more easy colors for them. My brain is like Play-Doh today. Okay. On women with a darker base, they're calling for beige highlights with ash brown micro lowlights. And what are we talking about, micro lowlights? What does a micro lowlight mean to you?
What is that, the new term for a baby light?
Yes.
Nicholas French gave me this advice a long time ago. He said, everything old becomes new. If you're around long enough, you'll see everything come around thrice. I was like, man, I'm like, that, okay, cool. I hope I'm around long enough to experience that. And sure enough, yeah, everything old becomes new. They just keep renaming everything something else. So micro lowlights.
Micro lowlights with an
is the new baby lights.
Yes, with an ash brown. Bringing some coolness into the hair. Now, what they're also recommending, you're going to see a lot of our color companies that also have wet lines, and a lot of the wet lines, they're really going to do an emphasis this year on the brass controlling shampoos, whether it be a blue, a violet, a combination of both. We're going to be seeing a big push on those for controlling warmth and things like that, especially now going into the spring, summer months where our clients are outside and especially our blondes, they oxidize, and it's going to big push.
So soft and subtle. So you can have highlighted effects. You just got to keep it soft and subtle.
Right. And they're looking more towards beigey, very creamy tones. We're not talking white.
Bases. It makes sense.
Makes sense. And also as a colorist, it makes life a lot easier because they're keeping that darker base. So if you do need to do a little bit of a demi at the root to get that blending going on, it makes it so much easier to deal with. Cool. So that's what we're seeing in hair trends for the spring. Here's some fun stats. I know you love stats. You're a stats guy. I can see it in your eyes. Okay. The vegan market. What does vegan mean to you, Eddie?
I did the you goofed me. I wasn't ready for that question. Here's me. The definition. What does it mean to me? Like, yeah, vegan is food grade material that contains no animal byproducts.
Okay. So, are you ready for this?
Yeah. What do you got?
Vegan market accounted. This is U.S. dollars. U.S. for $27.07 billion in 2023.
Whoa. Hit me with that
Billion.
number one more time.
The vegan market accounted for $27.07 billion US.
Okay.
And that means everything from vegan, I can't even come to a beginning, but all the way to vegan hair products, vegan.
So you're talking about like food, lifestyle, sustainable, yes, universally across the board for that category. Yep. That's the thing too, right? Like you say, like, what does that mean? What does vegan mean to you? There's so many different aspects because it's such a wide category. It's kind of like a loaded question almost to effect, because that's where I got stuck. I'm like, well, by definition, or by me personally, or by for color, for the industry, for what, you know?
Right.
27 billion, a little over $27 billion.
Right.
Cool.
Now, here's the fun part. They're giving the modest projection for 2024 of a 10% increase on that.
It is. We are seeing it, at least in the salon. We are seeing it week after week. Clients are more knowledgeable. They're more informed. And we're getting new clients that are coming in saying, you know, do you have these kind of ingredient-based products and services? Do you not specifically have these kind of ingredient or product-based services? So the awareness, you know, the overall awareness to health, to personal benefits, to everything involved, it's rising. It's coming up. And you know what? I say this every week too. I'm all for it because it's technology. You're pushing forward. You're gaining new technology. You're gaining new things, and I'm all for it. Right? Politics aside, opinions aside, if you're looking at the science, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fascinating. There's a place for it. I definitely see there's a place for it.
I agree with you. I agree.
At least in the beauty industry. You know, my opinion's coming from the beauty, and we're in the beauty industry, right? So as far as food, as far as, you know, the other categories, I don't have an opinion because that's not my area. But from the beauty side of things, yeah, man, vegan-based products actually have it's really the science is fascinating. The technology is super fascinating.
Yeah, and I'm gonna not do this as service, but I have to bring it up. I don't know if you remember 2 weeks ago when we did that class.
Yeah, okay.
And there was that one stylist there who had this app on her phone, and she scanned the product.
Oh yeah.
And it came up with a rating of of the harmful to non-harmful chemicals in the product. And she told me the name of it, and I tried to remember it, but like I said earlier, my brain is Play-Doh, and right now it's been made into a little dinosaur, and I just can't remember anything. So if we find that out, I'd love to. You know, it was so cool because she took the product, boop, and it went. You know, and it was like super.
There's certain websites and there are certain apps that track ingredients and products and give it some kind of a rating scale. So it's pretty that reaction was from okay. So that reaction from you was pretty wild, right? Now I got another reaction that I want to get out of you. So I'm going to see if I could do this.
Paybacks are brutal, aren't they?
I hope this works. I hope this works. So before, let me say this. We are about to review a different YouTuber's video. And like I said, I hope this works. I want to give him the full credit. The name of the channel is called Worth a Buy. It is a video game review channel. So every couple of days, you know, this guy posts constantly a video game and he gives his opinion. He is one of my favorite. He's my second favorite reviewer. My first favorite reviewer was also a British guy. I hope he's British. I don't know, but unfortunately he had cancer and he died. So that was Total Biscuit. But Worth a Buy is hilarious. He's got that same theme. I get that same feeling from watching him. And lately he's been doing this reviews of just crap games, and they've just been absolutely hysterical. So here we go. Let me see if I could pull this up. Do you see this?
Hairdresser Simulator. Oh God.
So
let's go.
It's a simulator. Oh dear, Mac, what are you doing? Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Create new hairstyles for customers. Cut, dye, and style to perfection. Enhance your skills and master the craft. Run your business and renovate your salon. Generate profit. Hire employees and aim to the top. Hairdressing simulator.
You hear that so far?
Yes.
What do you think?
Oh my God.
What's your initial reaction? What do you think?
I have no reaction as of yet. Let's go. Keep going more. Come on.
Yeah, it's a finished game, £16, guys. And if you fancy cutting people's hair, then hey, this is probably the only game that will allow you to do that. Now, for me, it should never have been made because I don't think a game, maybe it's VR. Maybe it's VR is the only way you could ever have a hairdressing simulator game. But hey, they've had a go and failed. You see, the problem is it's just a bunch of mini games. You don't really ever feel like a creative hairdresser, you know, going around and doing all the right things and making people's hair look nice. You're just doing a lot of different kind of mini games with this. And it's bugged like crazy, absolutely bugged, guys. I mean, it's just, I don't even know where to start. I've had ghosts walking through me.
Look at the guy. Wait,
How was that?
look at the guy. The guy next door just shampooing with the lady. It's just big. That's awesome.
We're
just doing a lot of different kind of mini games with this, and
this is really bad. Oh my God!
It's bugged like crazy, absolutely bugged, guys. I mean, it's just.
Shampoo.
I don't even know where to start. I've had ghosts walking through me fucking shop. I've had people coming in for a haircut with a huge bald patch. A woman with a huge bald patch on her head, and so I could never cut her hair because the mission for her was to comb and wash that bit of hair. Well, it doesn't exist. It's not.
How would you love to shampoo somebody with your hose pointing right at their head?
How many have you wanted to? Ah!
Could you imagine holding the hose in this direction?
Right? You and your client would need a wetsuit.
You'd have the cleanest floors. You'd have the cleanest floors ever.
You'd have to wear like fishing boots.
Right? I want to hear a comment in the section below. In the comment sections. Is that the only time you guys clean your floors is when you mess up at the shampoo bowl? How often do you mop underneath the shampoo bowl on a weekly basis? Because I have been in some salons. That shampoo area, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
But they hadn't rendered in, so that was fucked. I lost my entire progress because it just didn't save me game. I mean, the gameplay was so bad. I was having people coming in saying, okay, I want you to brush me hair, wash me hair, trim it here and here and here. And what I was doing, I was just getting the fucking the clippers, and I was just shaving huge bald patches all over the fucking hair. And then they would be like, "Oh yes, that's very nice. Thank you very much. We'd recommend you." And walking out the fucking door looking like that and thinking that they'd had a good job. I passed the guys. So
you like that haircut?
Oh, but here, to anybody watching, how many times have you really wanted to do that to a client, though? I mean, really. But oh my God, there's just so much wrong with this whole thing that I don't even know where to begin. I mean, because there are people that are gonna think this is how you cut hair.
Where you just run a clipper, just run a clipper everywhere.
There's someone's little sister's gonna end up with that haircut.
Oh, how many kids? Okay, how many times have you come home and one of the kids have grabbed, a shears or something?
Oh,
oh, didn't you have me come over to fix one of your kids' hair because his girlfriend tried to cut his hair or something?
Yes. That was when, Nick's girlfriend tried to cut his hair. Oh my God, I still remember that.
I had no choice but to change the way I played the game and open a site.
Come on. How many clients have you shampooed?
Face down. Let's go.
Straight to the face.
Oh my God.
I want this game. 16 pounds. I want this game. What is that in American dollars? What is that? What is it, like a pound, $1.50 or $2 is a pound, something like that?
Something like that. I do not know.
This is almost like a 30. This is almost like a 20-something, $30 game. Simulator.
Salon called Peaky Fucking Blinders. See, in my Peaky Fucking Blinders salon, the only haircut you'll ever get is a fucking Peaky Fucking Blinders cut. What's that, man? You want a perm? Sit down, Peaky Fucking Blinders cut for you, Arthur fucking Peaky. There you go. And this guy's like a hippie. Hey man, sit down. What you want? You want your locks? You want your hippie locks just brushing and beside that Peaky Fucking Blinders for you, sir.
Oh,
do you understand the Peaky Blinders reference?
Yes. Did you ever watch? You ever watch Peaky Blinders?
That's what makes it so perfect. That's what makes it so freaking perfect.
I tell you, guys, I had more fun turning people into the Peaky Fucking Blinders than I did with anything else. So if you want a game that's shite at fucking hairdressing, but you can turn people into the Peaky Fucking Blinders, I found the game for you. You can thank me later.
Without words.
I'm going to let the video run through. I want to give him full credit.
Okay. I am without words.
So it's almost over. All right. So this is... So that's worth a buy. That's the name of the channel. That's the content creator of that video. That's the person's video. Like I said, he does gaming reviews. Check him out. In our description below, I put as many links as I possibly could to give him as much credit as possible for that video. He is hilarious. That review is hilarious. All right, so let's get your thoughts on that one.
Oh my gosh. Where do I even start? I'm going to start with, there's been like makeover games and things like that have always been, you're kind of like, but if they could clean it up, that could be for a hairdresser, that's pretty awesome. I want the game just for the days I can come home and just go, I shave everybody's head into Peaky Blinders, right? Oh my God, it's genius. But there's also the other side of me that is like, okay, some kids are going to download this game and really think this is how you cut hair. And you really can't fix a Peaky Blinders haircut. And as far as the review, I mean, his accent and his voice just made the whole thing. I mean, that was awesome. That was fantastic. That was great. Well done, young man. Well done.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
that was a curve. That was the curveball. That was beautiful.
I'll tell you this way, man. There have been a lot of virtual simulators. There's been a lot of apps for the beauty industry, and like you plug your face in, and then it can kind of like change your hair color or show you with different styles and haircuts and stuff like that, right? The technology is improving every year. It really is improving every year. But when these apps first came out, man, we had more fun having a laugh than we did using it seriously for what the application was intended for. Because, dear God, these things are crap.
We used to, like, I don't know if I've told you this. We used to have a guy that would come in to the shop, and he'd set up his, and women would sit down. He would take their picture, and then they could pick hairstyles or whatever. And it was basically like, do you remember when you were a kid and they'd have the little cling stickers that you could like change pictures around with the little like, and that's what it looked like. It looked like somebody took a blonde, like if they wanted to be blonde. It was so bad, and I
just
remember
a blonde head over it, a hair over
it. And he would give them the pictures he would print out were like from a photo booth. You know how you get the strip of pictures. And I remember, I think it was like $25 a session or something like this guy was making. And then the clients would come to us, and you'd be like, yeah, okay. But now I had a client not that long ago who actually did something online with AI, and they took her existing hairstyle, her picture, and just changed the color of it. And I guess with this thing that she did, you could change hairstyles and things like that and really and it looked almost just like her. It wasn't, color form. That's what those things were. Color forms when we were a kid. There, sorry. I told you. I'm running a little slow today. But yeah, it didn't look like someone just, put a sticker over their head. AI is going to change the game.
Yeah, AI is definitely improving things along, but the technology is so goofed, man. The technology is still not there 100%. But then we get gems like this, like hairdresser simulator.
That is beautiful. I want to go to his website and just make a donation to him because he made that just so awesome for me. I mean,
I guess technically speaking, he is my number one favorite because my number one favorite unfortunately died a number of years ago. But currently, I very much enjoy watching his content. I think he's funny as hell, and and I think his reviews are great. So if you're into gaming or go check him out. Worth a buy. It's hilarious.
Or if you want to spend if you have an extra $40 and spend on a bad haircutting.
Yeah, if you got 16 pound, right? You get,
if you want to make everybody look like Peaky Blinders. That was magical. Thank you, my friend. That was magical.
Oh man.
So
how do we come back from that now?
You completely blew the whole day up. That's it. We're done. No, I'm kidding. Well, we've got to touch back on something that's it's kind of a theme that we've been on for a little bit. And it's also because it's something that's really prevalent in our industry because of the changes and stuff. And that truly is the vegan movement in the hair industry from, really focusing right now, the industry is focusing not only on vegan products, but on vegan treatments, especially in the smoothing category. I think that we've got to go with what you were talking about. The technology has changed so much that where we really don't have to put heavy duty chemicals on our clients' heads anymore to get lasting desired results. Would you agree with that?
So we don't have to put as much heavy chemicals into the hair. In addition to that, a lot of clients are, the trends have changed. It's not just that the ingredients have changed, just society. Every 10 years, every 5 to 10 years, there's this major shift in how we dress, the clothing trends go, the hair trends go, and just overall health trends track. And that's what we're seeing in the past, especially in the past 10 years and the 5 years. It's considerably softer. Like, you don't need to have slick, straight hair. You don't need to have it be bone straight. Texture is huge. People are embracing the wave, the body, the curl. People want bigger. I mean, there's always been a portion of people that wanted big hair, and there's always people that want more hair than what they have. But the idea to control that natural texture and to wear it naturally looking, not just to blow dry style it, smooth and straight all the time, it's been a struggle. Because when you try to wear your hair naturally, what does that mean? Do you just leave it be air dry? Well, then you're going to have a hot fuzzy mess. It's just going to look frizzy. I am so much against letting the hair naturally air dry. You should somehow heat style it to control it, to at least set it up to dry that last 10% or 20%. I don't think you should just come out the shower sopping wet, put your hair up, and just let it eventually go over the next 3 hours. I don't.
See, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you that way. But I do have clients that air dry their hair, but they put product in their hair first, and then they let it naturally dry, and it gives them more control over their hair. I don't have a problem with that.
But they're doing some prep to it, though, you're saying.
Exactly.
There is a difference. Air dry styling is just that, air dry styling. And I can't stand how they take a term, or they take a category, or they take a technique, and it just becomes so extremely streamlined and it gets ground down into oblivion.
Right.
And that just somehow that became natural styling, or air dry styling naturally became get out the shower, towel dry your hair so it's not dripping wet, and then just go out the door. And that magically, because then clients get confused. They come in and they're like, well, it's not laying anymore. It's not laying how it used to anymore. Well, what has changed? And then you go through the whole song and dance with them. You finally discover they're not spending the time to do their hair, right? So you're like, well, I heard if I get a treatment, then it'll control the frizz, it'll control the humidity, it'll control, and I'll have wash and wear hair. And it's like, well, what does wash and wear hair even mean? It's like, oh, I need to get a smoothing treatment. I'm like, okay, well, we could do a smoothing treatment on you, but you realize you're still not going to be able to wash and go. You're not going to have wash and wear like you're describing. You're still going to have to do your hair. Well, my friend got this treatment done and it lasts for 6 months. She only has to get it twice a year. It's like, do you really only have to get it twice a year, or are you choosing to do it twice a year? What exactly is the treatment supposed to do versus what you're being told to do? Because there's a disconnect somewhere. There is no treatment out there. Maybe a traditional relaxer, like a thio relaxer, maybe would last. But no, I take that back. I don't even think a thio relaxer would last 6 months.
No, because it's 6 months. You're going to have a minimum of 3.5 inches of outgrowth.
So then there you go. So then even a thio relaxer wouldn't last. How long does a perm last? 3-4 months.
Max. But even then you've got to reperm. You've got to, remember doing root perms?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Those are the strongest treatments that we have. Even back in the days, that Japanese permanent straightening only lasted 3-4, because once your new growth comes in, whatever your new texture is going to determine what the rest of the length of your hair does. Right. Because that's new texture growth at your scalp, right? So this idea of only needing to get a treatment twice a year thing, I don't even understand who or where or why that came up, So...
And while we're on the subject, are you getting ready for the smoothing busy season?
The hell is that? What is the smoothing busy season? What is that? What even is
Well,
that?
well, here where we live in the Midwest, you know, everybody says, "Oh, you know, it's getting into the smoothing busy season." I go, "Is that the same as it says? Are those the same people that come in the busy bus that show up, you know, only on holidays? What are you talking about?" And and they're like, "Well, no, spring, summer. That's when we do, you know, we do a lot of smoothings, and then you know they don't do it in the wintertime."
I
And
can't even. I can't even.
and I went, I was talking with this young stylist, and I was like, if you're doing a treatment on a client and it's working for them, why are you not doing it year round? And she's like, well, because of the humidity. I go, we have humidity. And plus, especially in the wintertime, they go, we have humidity, and then everywhere they go, the heaters are blasting, and that hair is looking for that moisture that product's going to bring and everything. So I it makes me crazy when it's, you know, it's the busy season. No, it's not the busy smoothing season. You should be doing smoothings year round, especially for your clients that have frizz and things like that.
I think the issue comes from I think the issue comes from what they physically see manifested in the hair versus what actually is happening technically to the hair. And I think that's in there lies the problem. In the summertime, if you have, because there's humidity in the atmosphere, and if you have humidity in your hair, like if your hair is moisturized to the level that it's supposed to be, it's not an issue. But if the porosity in your hair is a little bit off and your hair is a little bit dry, or let's just say it's thirsty and it's not getting the moisture from the products or from the treatments or from however you're normally maintaining your hair on a regular basis, then it's going to seek out that moisture whether you like it or not. And the closest resource of moisture that it's looking for is in the atmosphere around us. And I think that's why in the summertime everybody's hair blows up like a balloons, you know, and that's where everybody gets freaked out and they're like, oh, my hair's getting big, it's getting frizzy, it's getting unmanageable, I need anti-humidity, you know, and that's why they want to do the treatments.
Right.
I think in the wintertime people don't physically see that manifested as much in the summertime, and
Right.
and then they're like, oh, see, it's so much better in the winter because there isn't as much humidity in the air. Well, that's the problem. There isn't as much humidity in the air. So where they don't see the physical manifestation of their hair blowing up like a balloons, what they do complain about all the time, but it's not such as big of a deal as it is in the summer, is the static and the flyaways. They equate frizz with humidity, but they don't equate static and flyaways as an issue as bad as frizz. But that is your hair physically manifesting itself and telling you that it is thirsty. It needs moisture. It's lacking in something. That porosity of that hair is off. And because that porosity of hair is off, it's a snowball of a lot of problems that move forward. That's why your color doesn't last as long. That's why you turn brassy. It's why you see red sooner. It's why your haircut doesn't last. It's why you get the split ends. It's not volume. Okay, that hair is dead. It needs to get cut off. There's no coming back from split ends. You know, it snowballs and devolves into chaos. And a lot of people just don't see that physically manifested. Okay, fine. Well, then they want to get the treatments done. Well, the treatments are so heavily chemical based that people freak out. I want to control my hair, but on the other hand, I don't want these heavy chemicals in the service. I don't want it in the product. So if I relegate myself, you know, I'm supposed to get it done 4 times a year. Well, if I do it half the amount of time, it's good enough. And this good enough mentality, this good enough attitude in life is what just is not sustainable. It's not sustainable, you know? And they try to use these heavy chemical based ingredient smoothing treatments. And then it starts creating a cumulative effect into the hair. And now they come in and half their new growth is wavy or curly or natural body or whatever their natural texture is doing. And then the other mid shaft to ends is bone straight. And they're like, oh, see, this is lasting. This is great. It's like, this is dry as hell. It's compacted. The cuticle's compacted to high hell. You could barely get any color in there to hold.
Right.
So we're doing corrective freaking balancing all the time on those ends.
Right.
You're trying to get this to match that. It's a pain in the butt. So this move to softer, more gentle ingredients and services and treatments has been a godsend, because people finally realize that it is safe to get your hair done in the frequency that you should be getting it done, which is seasonal. Every 3 months, you should be getting a treatment done every 4 times a year. That's what keeps your hair under control.
Yeah, well, the other side of that,
on a tangent.
I know. You're welcome.
It's payback for the review video.
Oh my god! But anyway, but along those lines, though, and it's one of our running themes. You know, well, if a little is good, then a whole bunch of it is gooder, right?
I love it when you do that.
Right? Well, no, but it's the same thing. I'm going to use.
I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says "Good is gooder, more is gooder."
More is gooder. But no, because I just had this conversation with someone. We started doing the Melina boost treatment. Okay. And so now every time she gets a touch up, she wants the boost treatment, but she's every 3-week touch up.
Okay.
So I told her, come back in 6 weeks. We'll do the boost, but we can't do it every touch up, because that buildup on your ends is going to become unmanageable. And then what happens? And then how do you get all that buildup off the ends? So I said, let's get you on a schedule. Let's approach this professionally. And I think we, as the hairstylists, need to approach it professionally. And we have to be professional, and we have to understand all the products that we're using. Yeah, we've got these great things at our fingertips now. You know, the Melina treatment. We've got the Keratin bamboo miracle.
The Truplex bamboo.
The Truplex, sorry, that's Keratin though. And the Bamboo Zero, which doesn't have formaldehyde in it or anything like that. We have all these wonderful treatments at our fingertips that are going to do amazing things. But we need to become educated and understand them, and learn how to set our clients up on a schedule. I think that's part of running. And here's another term that makes me crazy, because I used to hear it all the time, is we have to run our business. Whether you work for somebody or you're an independent, or I used to work for a guy all the time. He looked at me, and he'd always ask me, because he knew it would just get under my skin. He'd be like, "What are you doing with your personal business?" And I looked at him. I said, "I'm lighting it on fire, and I'm collecting the insurance money." But he wasn't wrong. That is my point. He wasn't wrong, because whether you're an independent or you work for someone, those 6 square feet that you work in, that's your business. You're running your business. Those clients are coming to see you.
Yeah.
And I think that when we start really attacking treatments and everything on a schedule with our clients, it also helps keep our books steady. And so we don't have to worry about the busy smoothing season, or summer's coming, so it's highlight season. We have to, that's up to you, and I know you do winter and summer colors for your clients, right?
I do all 4 seasons. I don't even say, are we going to touch you up today on your formula? I say, are you ready for your, spring is right around the corner. Are you ready to start transitioning towards your spring formula? They have no idea what that color means. They have no idea what that is. They're just excited that they're going to get a change.
But
so
once again,
the treatments, go right into that.
But once again, you've got them on a system. They know spring's coming, so they're going to get this, and then they know summer's coming, and there's going to be my summer, color /
regimen routine for my hair.
Exactly. Thank you for putting it into better words than I did. Figures the foreigner, has a control of the language better than I do. So with all that being said, with these vegan products that we now have at our fingertips, it has opened the door for so much more services and really being able to service our clients that much better. And I would anybody watching, I highly recommend check out the vegan products that you can use, because it's going to be the new rage. You know, we have all our clients, they go spend how many hundreds of dollars for 2 bags of groceries at Whole Foods because everything's vegan and organic there. Just saying. So
yeah, it works out.
where are we? Where are we in our world? You threw this whole broadcast sideways.
Did I?
You know that, because I have lost all track of where we are.
Let me get you motivated. Let me get you motivated a little bit. What you've been coming up with quotes. What do you have a quote this week?
I have a quote. I have a quote, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. Wait, where's my quote? Okay, you ready?
Hit me.
God, I hate you. Okay. A person who never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And that comes to us from Albert Einstein. So a person that has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And that speaks to me a lot, because we become very complacent, and we, I don't want to come out of my little world, but mistakes are part of trying something new. Mistakes happen, and as long as you keep trying something new, that means you're learning, and that's the key to everything, is you're trying to learn something new. Speak on that, my friend.
I love that.
Or are you looking for a review of that?
No, that's a heavy quote.
It
to me that hits home really, really hard. You've heard me go on and on about this in our classes all the time. When you are doing something new, it's scary. And it makes a lot of people nervous. But there's an extremely fine line between being nervous and being frightened. If you're frightened, it invokes your fight or flight response, and a lot of people freeze up. They get scared and they freeze up, and that prevents them from moving forward. And then they just default back to what they're comfortable with, and they never push.
Right.
So they never try anything new.
Right.
So then they never make a mistake because they never try anything new. But my argument to making that mistake or trying something new with your intention is never to make that mistake. Your intention is never to mess up. And I think being in a state of nervousness when you're trying something new is the best feeling to be in. A lot of people argue and they're like, oh, you got to be confident when you're trying something new. Yes, you do need to have confidence in yourself to say, you know what, man, I can do it. I have a certain skill set. I have a certain thing. I will find you. I sound like the not the transporter. What was the Taken? I sound like the Taken guy all of a sudden. I have a certain set of skills. No, but it's like you have to have that confidence in yourself that you are at a level in your life that you feel confident. That you feel like you can do something. But at the same time, you're still going to be nervous. To me, when I'm nervous, I start getting like my brain's going a mile a minute. Did I do this? Did I do this? You start getting a mental checklist of all the things you're supposed to do. And all of a sudden you start remembering all the rules and all the instructions that usually you skip over or glance over, or they've just become so second nature that you don't even think about it top of mind because it's so ingrained into your brains, right? But when you're trying something new, if you're in that nervous state, you're like, okay, did I do this? 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 And I think that's the best way to be, because once you start, I think the nervousness comes from you're trying to find your rhythm in what you're trying to attempt that is foreign to you, that new thing that you're doing. And then once you get into the rhythm, you're like, oh, okay, I got this. It's starting to click. It's starting to make sense, right? Everything's starting to, the two wires are starting to touch a little bit. You know, the squirrel freaking stopped to take a break, you know, and then all of a sudden it starts moving. And when that creation starts manifesting itself into reality, man, it's wild.
Yeah.
Because then that feeling, that nervousness starts to subside, that confidence starts to come back up again, and you're like, yeah, I'm badass. Like, I kick butt, you know, like this is freaking awesome.
Right.
And then it's that level of that giddy excitement, like you're a little kid playing with a new toy or something. You're like, you're just running all the levels of emotion, like you're going through all the stages. That's what that quote does for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm understanding that. That's how I'm understanding that
no,
quote.
You're 100%
understanding that quote.
I think you that's the best thing about all these quotes and stuff, because they're motivational quotes, but they probably mean something different to everybody. But it gets your thought process in that direction. Because for me, when I read that, one of the most valuable lessons that I have learned have been from mistakes. I've tried something, it didn't quite come out, so I had to go back and figure out how to make it look right, do it the right way. And in that moment, I learned this is how really how to do this. I am very visual spatial. I have to touch it. I have to experience it. I could read it 1,000 times on a piece of paper. You know me, I take notes about everything because I can go back over it. And then what I do is I'll go back through my notes, and I'll be like, oh, this is where I goofed up. Mental note, don't do that again. But when I stop trying new things, and I hate complacency. I'm the worst ever. And I'm one of those. I pace back and forth if I don't have anything to do, which is very, very rare because I have so much to do, like you. And that's the whole thing. And I'm just gonna drop this. I still remember a little while back when you and I pitched this, and we were told. I still remember us being told it'll never work. No. You guys are too people know you guys too much. You're not gonna. No. And look where we are now. Look where we are now. And you know what? We tried something new. It's grown legs. They're little baby legs, but it's grown legs. And it is the first one was scary as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. You and I have been on stage together. We have goofed off in front of 300 people. You've dropped 4-letter words at me in front of 300 rooms full of people. But to take on something like this, and it's and we're learning as we go too. We're totally learning. We're learning new stuff. You're learning. You've been knee deep in this, and this has been amazing. But that's what that motivational quote speaks to me is you got to keep trying new stuff. You got to keep getting after it. And yeah, you're going to fall down. You're going to skin your knee. And guess what? You're going to get right back up and get after it. Do you make every client happy? Is every one of your clients happy?
No.
Hell no. No. So
I'll admit it,
yeah.
but I fix it, but I attempt my hardest to fix it.
Right.
And most of the time it turns out to be it was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding.
Right. But you learn from that mistake. You're going to make mistakes. You're human. We're all human, and we make mistakes.
That's the thing. The more you put yourself out there, the more you try something new, the more the mistake you might make. And the thing of it is this: people get excited on the negativity more than they get excited on the positivity. People love watching a crash. People don't like watching traffic just go by normally, unless you're into some weird traffic AMSR thing. But people love watching people watch NASCAR for the race, or people watch NASCAR for the crash, for the potential possibility that there's going to be a crash, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing. We're on the internet. We're trying something new. You're going to get the comments. You're going to get a keyboard warrior out there making a comment. Are you going to get stuck on that comment, or are you going to take that comment and it's hard to take a negative comment and be constructive with it, but you got to do it.
Yep.
You know, and the more you are putting yourself out there. The other person isn't. You are doing something that is nerve-wracking, is scary, is new. The other person isn't. It's easy to be how is the expression says, like, everybody's a critic?
Yeah, everybody's a critic.
So from the sideline, it's easy to sit and watch, it's easy to sit on the sofa and watch the TV and be like, oh, look at this, talent show, or look at this dance show, or look at this singing show, something. Oh, she sounds like crap. Oh, he looks like stupid. Oh. Yeah, but you're sitting on the couch. What are you doing?
Right.
Can you get up there and do it?
Right.
It's rough. It's rough.
Right.
Man, that's a good one. So then,
yeah.
What is how do you apply that to the salon this week for homework? How do you take that? Yeah, how is that tangible in a small scale trial thing?
Okay, here's the easiest, most basic way that I was going to put this, and I'm glad I was going to go right into it, is do something new this week. Try something new. From maybe even put more effort into your retail sales. Try to sell X amount, make it up in your head, guys. X amount of products, more products that week. How about even better is okay, retail sales are great. That's great for the salon. That's great for the shop. How about trying to go 10% more on your ticket sales? Sell one more service.
Okay.
I should even say sell. Get a client to take one more service. Increase. I mean, with the weather changing and everything, we were talking about treatments, even just conditioning treatments. It can make a difference. Make a difference. Try something new in your business. We all know where we lack, and not to get into bashing or anything like that. We all know where we lack. I know where I lack. There are things where I just am like, unless someone asks me to wrap a perm, then no. But try something new. Look, even I'll do you one better. Look up some of these new vegan products, guys, and bring in a sample. Try one of these new products. Find your girlfriend, find a family member, because they're always the best. They're always the best guinea pigs anyway. You can contact HT. You know what? If you really want to try the Molina or the Truplex, you can contact Eddie at HTB and he'll get you set up. And just do one of those services a week, and it'll make a world of difference.
Okay.
So that's my.
I'm gonna take.
That's my homework.
I like that. I think that's tangible. I think it's realistic. I'm gonna take the other side of it too. Speak to your clients this week. Just spend 5 minutes during the service, 2 minutes, I don't care. Spend a couple of minutes during your service actually being a hairdresser beyond the consultation. So while you're in the middle of a haircut, a color application, a hair extension, a smoothing service, whatever that service is, spend a couple of minutes and actually engage with your client as a hairdresser and walk them through what you're doing. You remember Bob Ross, the painter?
Dude, I like that. That's fantastic.
Right?
I like that.
So
that.
While he was painting, he'd always tell a story. And then in between his story, he'd always give like a quick blurb of this paint and this brush stroke does like this and it creates this.
Happy little trees.
Happy little trees. Happy little mistakes. So with that said, yeah, just a minute or two. Just start educating your client on what you're doing and why you're doing it. Practice your craft. Practice speaking your craft.
I like that.
And then go right back into your conversation again with what you're comfortable talking about. Okay. And if you can increase it,
Right.
to 5-10 minutes, eventually the goal would be half your appointment time should be being a hairdresser. And then the other half the time of your appointment should be balanced out with goofing off with your clients and
Right.
engaging, having some fun for the experience,
Yep.
And then you'll find it a lot easier to build your business that way with add-on services, with retail sales, with whatever and everything.
I like
Want
that.
to close this out?
You ready? No one gave us a new closing statement, so I have to go off of what we've been working with, and here's my closing statement for this week, guys. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching what we got going on here. Please smash the like button, smash the share button. You can also follow us. We would greatly appreciate it. Eddie tells you to do it twice. Don't, because that unsubscribes you. And really, and this one is because we're ending on a high note. I'm going to actually give you a really high one. Is I want you guys to take care and take care of each other. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next week.
Next year and next week.
We're going to see you guys for the next couple of years.